Well, just to show you that we just don't make fun of women, you sent me this week, actually, from the fighter and the kid. Do we need to know anything before, or should we just play it? I have the timestamp you sent me. Do we need to know anything, or do I just play it?
No, it's pretty quick. It's a quick little one.
All right. So let's check it out here. I'm gonna kick this timestamp back just a little bit.
Worth it is like I
seemed like a fun time.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I saw him come out of his office on a lot when he was writing. I think
my grandfather has those boots.
Was Inglourious Basterds, which is a phenomenal movie. Which is a phenomenal movie.
In my top 5.
Thank you.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's my number 1. Inglourious Basterds 2 or 3.
Look, how about Pulp Fiction? The man is,
dude. He's Django.
Can I just point out something?
What did he just call it?
Well, no, he says it right, but then he points.
You sure? I don't think he even said it right the first time.
The man is,
dude. He's Django.
Oh,
it's a whole different thing.
But pause this for a second too.
Before, yeah.
By the way, these two, your Quentin Tarantino selections are so basic, bitch. Like seriously, if Jackie Brown is not in your top 2 or 3,
Jackie Brown's top
movies,
3 for sure for me.
Yeah. It might actually, to be honest with you, it's probably my second favorite. Pulp Fiction, you can't top that.
Yeah.
But
I would go Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, and then I would go Reservoir Dogs.
See, that
would be my 3.
That's probably my 3 too.
Yeah.
And but like, and by the way, Jackie Brown for me is so close to Pulp Fiction that I think people would be shocked at how it would be like, yeah, Pulp Fiction number 1, but Jackie Brown, where it's one of those where if it were an MMA fight, people would be arguing about the outcome, like, oh, he got robbed, like because they're very close in quality.
Django's. My dad watched that. My dad goes, "This is fantastic.
It's a masterpiece."
I was like, it's phenomenal.
I called it De Django for 3 years.
Oh my god.
The reason we're not laughing is because we figured. You look like someone that would have done that. What's with the patches on his jeans?
They're cool, bro.
What is he, a fucking Raggedy Andy doll?
I like when people buy those. Like you buy designer jeans that are patched.
And no one corrected me.
Yeah, and that's the most telling thing.
Yeah, that's the biggest part of this.
That is the most...
You have no friends, Brendan.
Telling thing. Mike and I always look for any opportunity to make fun of the other one and correct the other one if they fuck up. I mean, it's obviously... I think that's called... And I just saw a documentary on this. I think that's called having friends. When you have real friends around you, they tell you, hey, man, you're saying this wrong. I don't want you to look like an asshole. You know? I don't want you to look like an asshole. Demersh.
It's in the movie.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Solve the D.
Yeah, that's a very good point. The producer, she just said, it's in the movie. So you watched the...
right.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
That's right.
You watched the movie and they said his name.
Not only said his name, but said his name a lot in the movie. Like he's the main guy. And
he's the guy.
They like everybody wanting to get their hands on him and stuff. Like that movie says his name a lot.
Okay. I think you have...
CTE, traumatic brain injury, lucked your way into comedy, really tight pants,
no talent,
a losing MMA career. I wonder what he's going to say.
I think you have corrected almost entirely your speech impediment.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't.
Again, that's not a real friendship, right? Like that's Brendan is a guy everybody has to suck up to because he's friends with Rogan, and even Callan knows it. And Callan is like, I think you've come a long way.
But the Django isn't even a speech impediment. That's just saying a word wrong.
Yeah, it's just being retarded.
Yeah.
Being retarded is not an impediment.
When we first met, you
had a legit
would always
speech
help me.
impediment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it still comes out.
But did you work on it alone?
Oh, yeah.
You did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't ask for help from anybody because nobody offers it.
Literally, I go, hey, man, do you want to help me out? And Bobby Lee's like, I got to go. I'll see you next week, though. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Dude, I speak for a living.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, oh,
Not
wow.
well. No, seriously.
But that's
you speak for a living like a guy that works at Jiffy Lube fixes cars for a living, right?
But that's the point, man. You speak for a living, and that's the whole thing. We don't think that you're good at it. You know, you speak for a living. Recently, you started to speak for a living. It's not. You're not good at it.
That's what I mean. That's him saying that is like some retard at Jiffy Lube being like, "Yeah, I am a mechanic.
No, you're not. You change oil."
Like, no, you're not. You actually left like 3 bolts in my oil pan, and it almost destroyed my entire engine.
Yeah. So, come on, man.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
but see, you did it quietly.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't notice it anymore.
It'll come
and
out.
it was so heavy in the beginning.
I was super embarrassed of it.
He's doing it right now. A super best.
You know, I think you're nitpicking. I think he's fine.
Yeah, I would make fun of you until I realized it wasn't your fault. Like this was a.
You're just stupid. Holy shit. That's what he's saying, though, right? I would make fun of you because it wasn't your fault. You're just a dum-dum. You dum-dum?
Real speech thing.
Oh yeah.
Right? So I was like, oh. But then what did you do?
I went to salsa specialist.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't do it on your own.
So supposed.
No, hold on. Sorry. But he just said he did it on his own. But now he's saying he went to see a specialist. So you didn't do it on your own. You received help.
He went to a sausage specialist,
Oh, okay.
from what I heard.
A sausage specialist.
I don't think it has anything to do
A
with the
sausage-
speech
a
thing.
sausage specialist.
I think he fixed it on his own, and then he went to a butcher, also known as a sausage specialist.
Get your shoes off the table.
You sneaky motherfucker.
What am I gonna tell you, dude?
I don't know. It's pretty cool, dude.
I guess.
Well,
Hey, man.
but
I grew
it's-
up in public schools and I have a speech problem.
you-
and I make a lot of
I know,
money
but-
talking for a
but
living.
see, people.
A lot of people went to public school and they could speak. Is he blaming his speech impediment on public
On the
schooling?
public education system, which I think is obviously true.
You need to hear this because in
Raging.
your 30s, you quietly went, I have a speech impediment, and you went and got help and you fixed it.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody.
It's not fixed.
It's fine. What are you talking about? Social specialist.
NCT software or
The Django specialist.
Even noticed until I go, hey, I've noticed you don't have a speech impediment anymore. That's not easy to do.
well, now people are gonna focus on like.
well,
I would go back more.
But
all right, hey, self-aware. But I don't think it's gotten better. But then again, to be fair, I don't really watch all your shows. Maybe it has. I think it's funny, and I know this isn't something. This is why we don't make any fucking friends in any of these communities. And
Ever.
Look, I know. I understand that we're only hurting ourselves, and I get it. But what are you gonna do? I like to be honest about this stuff. I try to be like. I firmly believe that there's a lot of people in this community, and not in this community because we're not in their community, in the comedy community, right? That probably goof on him a lot in private. Like I'm sure of it. But because of the way it is, because of all the connections that he has, because of the people that he knows, because of the places that he gets booked, because of the the Rogan connection and all that stuff, nobody says anything. You know what I mean? Everybody, it's the comic community is weird, and it's always been a weird one for me because it's always like, yeah, man, we stand up for other comics, and you should. We would stand up. I would stand up for Brendan Schaub
On matters of principle.
of course.
Yes.
I would stand up for Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub that they were trying to get deplatformed, they were being demonetized, they weren't allowed to play at a club. I would be the first one to go, this is fucking bullshit. I particularly don't find him funny, whatever. But it's the only person that I ever saw that ever did that and didn't give a fuck, and I'm sure there's other people, was like a Patrice. Like, Patrice was a dude that to their fucking faces would just be like, what are you, retarded? And
Yeah, that's one guy, man. If he were still, I know everybody always brings him up, but that's one guy that would just go, what the fuck are you saying?
like, again, Brendan Schaub is the same guy that was saying, like, no, I understand why Asian people got mad at Shane Gillis. Remember we had that? And I'm like, what? So a lot of these comedians defend him, or not defend him, but don't shit on him, But but what bothers me about guys like Brendan, not so much Callan, because Callan does defend these guys. I want to give, Callan is a fucking real comic, right? Like we could say what he wants. We might not particularly find him, but that's a comic.
He has been around a long time.
He's been around. He's done it. So it's really difficult. You're not going to just sit here and it's easy to go, they're fucking both gay. No, but when it comes Brendan's turn, right, to defend these people in this comedy community, he doesn't really do it.
No, you're right. He immediately
is like,
that's not cool, man.
Look up the clip. He didn't stand up for Shane Gillis, right?
Not only did he not stand up for him, he goes, if he should have been fired, it should have been because his show wasn't funny, because his jokes weren't funny. And it was like, how dare you?
Right. So it's like, there's a lot of people that are defending this dude. Like, remember when the Comedy Fight Club thing? When I made the joke about Brendan Schaub, when I said that
Fluke Human.
Fluke Human looks like Theo Von with Brendan Schaub's traumatic brain injury.
No, you said he looks like Theo Von, but he talks like Brendan Schaub's brain injury, which fucking killed me.
Yeah,
that was the line that had me doubled
There were
over.
some comics that were like, ooh, like I'm like, why? Like, I get that he's a nice guy. I've heard that he's a nice guy. I heard
we don't give a shit.
Yeah,
we're independent.
Yeah, I heard Brendan's a nice guy, and I get it. And maybe he's one of the nicest guys that's ever walked the planet. Maybe that's what he is. But a lot of people in the comedy community like walk on eggshells around him, and it's not because they have some undying respect for him, but the people that he knows can help their career. And I get it, man. You got to take care of your career. I am not begrudging you people for playing the game. But I'm just pointing out what bothers me about him is he doesn't do the same for them. The Shane Gillis thing really is what opened my eyes to that with him. He won't do it for them. Like every comic I know except for the SJW faggy ones were all like, Shane Gillis should be on the show. No, look, no, hey, I don't care. He didn't do anything wrong. They're fucking jokes. Everybody was standing up for this dude.
Yeah.
And when it came his turn to do it, it was like, I don't know, man.
Not only, again, did he say, oh, that's fucked up what he said, and I don't know, but he literally said he wasn't funny.
He wasn't funny, and I'm like...
Which it's like, Shane Gillis could fucking run circles around Brendan Schaub on stage.